ready, one take, Master?
Ready.
One take, here we go. Hi, I'm Adam Reposa. I'm making a video today to talk about this man, Ken Anderson. Ken Anderson was a district judge who recently stepped down in what is the wake of a case that has really brought a lot of attention lately to Williamson County. It was a guy by the name of Michael Morton. And what the case was about was a guy who was accused of murdering his wife, and he went to prison, and he gets out 25 years later. And the story is really reflective of the criminal justice system in Texas. And recently, I heard a rumor that the sanction was going to be a 10-day jail sentence. Now, I personally was sanctioned for contempt of court several years ago and received a 90-day jail sentence. And what I want to do is compare the difference between the two to establish what I honestly believe, which is that respect for authority is far more important in Williamson County than substantial justice, and far more important in the state of Texas than substantial justice. And this is what I would say it's based on. I had a client several years ago who was completely innocent, and they offered him 30 days in jail. To me, the most important thing as a young lawyer was not being one of those lawyers that just pleads people out. And I was willing to fight a case even when my client wasn't. And so much that I didn't care what my client wanted. All I cared about was not having my name as the lawyer on a judgment where somebody was actually innocent. So I go into court, and the prosecutor says, "Let the record reflect Mr. Reposa is whispering in his client's ear while I'm talking." And I went like that to the prosecutor, and I was being a jerk. Compare and contrast that to a situation where you have a prosecutor who's got a case of an innocent person, and the way that they prosecute that case. The difference between, this was our one take. What happened to our one take?
Nobody's told me anything about it. I just want to find out, did you get permission from somebody?
No.
Okay, because it is county property. We need to find out if you got permission to put that on you or not.
Well, I'll take it off when I'm done.
I understand that, but you haven't gotten permission to put that on you.
But I'm in a public space. I mean,
Well, you're on county property.
no, I agree, but it's public.
Yes. But you need permission to put that on you.
Well, I'm not going to leave it on him.
No, sir. I know that, and I understand that.
Okay, well, I'll
But
just get
you
Bruce.
need to take that off.
Bruce, can I get you to come here and hold this in front of him? Boy.
Mr. Reposa,
Yes.
can you come and talk to me real quick?
Yes.
In order for you to film like this, it's my understanding, my lieutenant, that you need to have permission from somebody.
I don't think so. I mean, it's public property. I mean, I think he's completely wrong about it.
I'm just telling you what I was told.
Okay, I mean, I think he's wrong, and I mean, people film out in front of courthouses all the time without getting permission. The news does it all the time. So,
But you dressed him up.
right now that's why we took it off.
And you got assaulted.
Right.
Can you come out here? Out in this area, it's off, it's away from it. Everybody's good.
Okay, I mean, sure. Bruce, would you stand over here? And so you can see that the love of government runs deep.
They don't
I mean,
want
that's
us.
all that I want is to expose how this happens, and it's systematic. There is nothing unique about this situation. The reality is that in Williamson County, respect for authority is far more important than substantial justice. That is, the idea that an innocent man goes to prison is not nearly as important as respect for law enforcement. My understanding is that this man will get a 10-day sentence. He was the prosecutor of a man who was wrongfully convicted. And it's alleged that what he did was fail to turn over evidence to the judge that would have helped the defense. Then, at the end of the trial, after the guilty verdict, his co-counsel mentions that he was surprised that they didn't have to turn over more of their evidence to the defense. I went to court and I was acting like a jerk. But anybody who doesn't see the problem in a prosecutor feeling so obligated to get a conviction that they would fail to turn over evidence, then when it was brought to the attention of the court and the Court of Appeals and they did nothing, anyone who doesn't see that as a threat to freedom, anyone who doesn't see that as a problem is a government-loving jerk-off. And my question for you is whether or not you're a government-loving jerk-off or whether you want to seek justice. Because on November 6th, there's supposed to be a hearing where I believe the parties are going to ask the judge to approve a 10-day sentence. A 10-day sentence which is completely paltry and inadequate considering the facts of this case. And my hope is that people will come to court on that day and let the judge know that they don't think that that is an appropriate sentence. And if you want to join me and you want a t-shirt, please email me, adamtreposa@gmail.com. And the idea that a prosecutor turned judge is just going to be judged by a prosecutor and a judge and not by the people, I think is government-loving, jerk-off bullshit.
Don't be a jerk-off.
Let's get some pizza.